If I were to ask you, what is the most tied speedrun world record in Cuphead, you would probably think of a random miscellaneous full game category. Well, you would be mistaken. You see, Cuphead has a very active speedrun community, but most of these runners focus on the full game categories. However, there's a part of this community that is often overlooked. This is the Cuphead IL speedrunners. These people are often very competitive when it comes to recent breakthroughs in individual levels. However, no one has the might to break a world record that has stood the test of time, being tied for nearly 5 years. This is Cuphead's Root Pack boss fight in 25 seconds with a
Also,
B+.
I just noticed your PFU's snack respected. Socks Bowler and me would never work together. Are you sure about that? Oh, let's go! Yes! Oh my god, yes! Yes! Let's freaking go!
Okay, so the first question you might be asking is, what the heck do you mean with a B+? Well, first we must understand how Cuphead's grading system works. Cuphead's scorecard differentiates a bit between difficulties. On Expert mode, if you complete the boss with 3 HP by the end, parry at least 3 non-mandatory pink objects, use 6 super cards, and complete the boss under 2 minutes and 10 seconds, you will earn the coveted S rank grade, an achievement to be proud of in and of itself. However, what happens if you do the same thing on other difficulties? On regular, you will earn an A+, and on simple, a B+. However, simple mode is either really jank or just not as strict, because you do not need 6 cards of super use, and 5 of 6 will also give you a B+. Let's apply this grading system to a speedrun of the Root Pack on simple mode. The objective here is to beat the Root Pack as fast as possible, getting a B+ grade. This is known as a highest grade no DLC speedrun. However, most people just say the grade earned, being a B+ in this case. For this category, you want Charge, Spread, Super Art 3, Giant Ghost, and Whetstone. This will help you to do the most damage and get the fastest time. With all that out of the way, let's get you a world record. Phase 1. Sal Spudder. Sal Spudder, or simply the potato, is noticeably slower in shooting on simple mode, and only 3 projectiles will spawn per cycle. The third projectile will always be a parryable worm, so make sure you grab it. Remember, this is the only phase on simple mode where we can get parries, so make sure you have 3 by the end. This phase is the least stressful of the speedrun, as our only objective is to get 3 parries and not to get hit. Sal must be dead as soon as possible after this objective is complete. This can cause easy strat variation depending on your preference. What I found to be the easiest is shooting a charge shot, holding spread and getting parries until 4.5 cards. Then, switch to charge, hold the shoot, but fire it as soon as the third parryable object is spawned. This will help you to kill the potato in the fastest time while getting your 3 parries and not getting hit.
A brawl is surely brewing. Now go! A brawl is surely brewing. And begin!
Phase 2. Chauncey Chatanet. Now the second and final phase, with the crazy carrot boy over here, is the real deciding factor when it comes to the time. There are 2 main strategies that can be used for this phase. Most people shoot an early charge shot while simultaneously switching to spread, jumping up, and activating Giant Ghost. With this done, they simply stay on spread while spamming Whetstone hits on the carrot. Make sure if you do this, you are aiming up and down when you reach the peak of your jump in order for no spread bullets to miss. After gaining a card, you jump, Whetstone, then perform a same weapon caliber swap, Spread EX, to finish off the fight. However, this is only one way. So far, runners Michael, DORNOBZBAC, and Danny Stuff have opted to use the charge strat for this world record. The charge strat, invented by Michael, uses the super just as the potato's eyes exit the screen, direct it towards where the carrot's hitbox would be, wait about 1 second, fire a charge shot and Whetstone about half a second later. Then, fire another charge shot while Whetstoning at the same time. Then Whetstone again and shoot a charge shot down at the carrot. Finally, Whetstone one more time and fire a charge shot from the ground while switching to spread. By now, the ghost should have just despawned, so you can jump up, Whetstone, and perform a same weapon caliber swap spread EX once again. This should end off the fight while in the air. If you play either of these strats perfectly, and I mean perfectly, you should get your sweet 25 seconds and a B+ grade, granting you a world record. The usual decimal for these runs are 25.7x to 9x, so it is extremely tight.
Like, I personally think, like, raging at a game and you're just, like, playing casual.
Now you may be thinking that this seems like a lot of factors to consider while fighting, especially in such a short time. However, if you learn each of these strats individually and apply them here, it can make your speedrun easier to practice and manage. I even have a video explaining how to correctly do same weapon caliber swaps without messing up, so you should totally check that out and stuff. Anyway, all this being said, this is one of the few speedrun categories that requires 0 luck, which makes it very consistent to attempt. However, I cannot tell you how many times I've gotten 26. But would you believe me if I told you that 12 people have tied this world record? 15 people have tied the DLC variation of the speedrun as well, but I'm getting ahead of myself. The 12 people in the 25 gang are Kentrap Danshi, Ninja100110001, or Mr. Bummandiddles on YouTube, Cheetah555v2, Gamer Attack 27, Michael, Slimzy Leader, DORNOBZBAC, KOK087, Rated, Loser, and Danny Stuff 2345. Got that in one breath. And before you ask, no, 24 is 100% impossible. However, more strats are being found to this day, as Slimzy Leader has a video of using Lobber instead of Charge to get 25, and Danny has a video of getting it with Charge and Lobber. I am grateful for possibly the silliest category in Cuphead speedrunning. I even got to know 2 of my greatest friends for this category, Slimzy Leader and KOK087. 25 trio! My main goal with this video is to get literally every single Cuphead runner, full game focused or not, to tie this record. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support. Thank you so much for nearly 5,000 subscribers. On my second year of YouTube, that is just insane. It's all thanks to you. Special shoutouts go to Slimzy Leader and KOK087 as they helped me the most with the feedback on this video's production, and everyone who allowed me to use footage or art. Not moving the goalpost yet, but what would you like to see next?